and immigration. Got it now? So when we talk about the population, you have, what all you have? You have birth rate, which will add on to the population, whereas death rate which will minus. So similarly here, if you could see in, it is your, I can write this as mortality. This is mortality. Okay, in your book they would have given ulta. Okay, here they would have given birth rate, death rate, immigration and your immigration. So when you say immigration, it's addition or deletion? Immigration is addition or deletion? Addition. Whereas immigration is your deletion. Got it now? And they would have also told you that how to calculate. For example, you have 20 frogs in that particular year. Got it? You have a 20 frog in a particular year. Say in the same pond, say 5 organisms or 5 frogs are added to it. 5 by 20. That's how you do the calculation. Suppose if you get a calculation of birth rate or even death rate, they may give a sum. Okay. So whatever is added divided by already existing. Don't write a total number of 25. Got it now? That's how you calculate it. Individually we will say it's a birth. Individually we will say it's a death. But for a population you will call it as a rate. Birth rate and also your death rate. Similarly over here. Got it now? So what is the formula which determines that? And usually we will calculate the birth rate or death rate as per capita per year. Okay. Per capita, how much it happens in. Then apart from these 4 factors, you have even sex ratio. For an individual it is male or a female, but for a population it is sex ratio. So for a 100 number, how many percentage of males and how many percentage of females that are being present in a population, you will do it. The last one is your age distribution. So based on age distribution, how many graphs you will get it? 3. What are the 3? You will get a expanding, stable and declining. So actually it is a graph or it is a chart? Actually it is a graph. Actually it is a graph. X-axis and Y-axis. Okay, reproductive, pre-reproductive, post-reproductive. Got it? But they, in order to represent it, they have given it as your, what is a chart type they have given it. In case of stable, okay, here you can find an increase in the first and the second level and steps will be more. Here you will find the steps to be less. By that you can identify when a graph is given which is stable or which is expanding, and then you can identify. Declining is going to be your ulta graph. Okay, the number will be very less. Actually here you will have very less number. So automatically in the, now in reproductive you may have people, but in the pre-reproductive age the number of people are very less. Then comes your, automatically in your post also they will be less. Where do you will find this condition where pre-reproductive is very less? If pre-reproductive condition is more, they are going to become reproductive. We have reproductive population. If reproductive population is there, population addition is going to happen. So it's a growing population. It's an expanding population. In which condition you will find a declining population? Where the pre-reproductive condition will be very less when compared to your present reproductive. Where you will find this? See, when reproductive category are reproducing, obviously this should increase, right? It should increase, right? Pre-reproductive will be there, child will be there. But where you will find a condition where pre-reproductive is less than that? In which condition you will find that? Think. When there is a female, when there is a female feticide conditions are there, obviously wherever the female child is being born, automatically they will kill them. When they are killing them, automatically your ratio is also going to affect. If you leave it outside, it will add to the birth rate. You are able to get it. So that is one of the condition, but it may vary. Some in a particular group or in a particular era, suddenly a reproductive people may think we don't want a child only. So automatically you will get a declining population. These are all the conditions where you will get a declining population. Got it now? Understood? Yes. So next is your population size or your population density. How do you represent your population size or population density? N. Okay. So when we talk about the population growth, what are the two type of curves that you get?
Exponential curve.
Exponential curve and
Fixed
one you told exponential, other one? One is your this is your K, carrying capacity. Then you have your J-shaped curve, and then you have your S-shaped curve. Okay. So what is that curve called as? This is called as your exponential curve. Okay, when do you find an exponential curve? When you will find an exponential curve? At which conditions you will find this? What is K stands for? What does it mean? What is that carrying capacity? What is carrying? Who is carrying? What is that carrying capacity means? How much the earth can provide the resources. That is called carrying capacity. If it is unlimited, then there is no competition. There is no fighting. You also have food. Earth has provided. Resources are there. Everybody has. So population is growing. Remember, K is very important. Carrying capacity. So even our planet Earth can support only up to a certain extent the population. After that, rule out, add one. Rule out, add one. Understood? That is what will happen over here. Next comes your sigmoidal curve. In case of your S-shaped curve, what is this called as? Logistic curve, and we will call them. So here resources is not limited. So there is it's not available to a greater extent. It is limited. Resources are limited. When the resources are limited, initially they are started to grow a phase of acceleration, then they are maintaining, and they will go in for your asymptote stage. Okay, they will maintain it, because if this is a carrying capacity of our Earth, you cannot cross it, because my resource is limited. So species should be limited without that. So which is the realistic curve over here? Either it is your A or B. B is a realistic curve. So in the urban condition or in our population, in human population, which one you are finding, A or B? B only you will find. Okay, A is not that realistic to a greater extent. Got it now? Take down now. So how do you calculate a population or a population density? What is the formula? What? If your initial population after a particular time, +1 I have given, it can be anything after 10 years or 20 years when you are, or 20 years when you are calculating them, plus what you will have, birth rate plus death rate minus immigration plus emigration will give you your population density. Population density is number of individuals which are present, which is nothing but your population size. Both are same. Population size, population density, both are same only, and this is how you calculate them. You may get a sum based on this formula also. They may give the values and then you need to calculate them. Got it now? Then moving on to your, what is the equation for your exponential curve? dn by r. Okay. So when you are talking about n population size, it will continuously increase over the time. N is your population size. It will increase because there is no resource limitation. What is R? Intrinsic rate, the rate at which the capacity to reproduce is there. Okay, then moving to your what is that? Logistic curve. Okay, what is the equation for this? dn by dt is equal to r k minus n divided by k. Because your carrying capacity is limiting over here. So this is a carrying capacity. Even though I have an intrinsic rate, the population size has to go with that. Okay, these two equations are important. You should know these equations. Directly they can ask the equation. Then what did next? The last part of this lesson talks about how do the population interact, because we are talking about a community over here, community interaction over here. So how do they interact and what are the different types of interactions do you find between any two organisms? First thing, whatever is a question, whole of the interaction that you are finding over here is interspecific interaction only. It's not intra. It is inter, between the species. That you remember. Intra is within. Within we are not. Within means myself interacting with myself. Okay, that is individual. We have seen how I am responding. That is not there. All interactions that we are studying over here is your interspecific interaction only. Tell me now, A and B, different types. What you have? If both are benefited, it is mutual. If both are not benefited, commensalism. Competition. One eating on the other, relation. Similarly, one acting on the other, parasitism. P-R-A-S-I. Then you have your, what is that? The last one is what is amensalism? One is affected, other one is neutral. This interaction, this you should know in, and the different examples that are being given in your book. Okay, examples only they will give and then they will ask. For mutualism, what are all the examples that you can give? Huh? What is it? Lichens. Lichens, lichens, however you call it. Okay, this is one. Then next, other than that. Mycorrhizae. What is mycorrhizae? Fungal inhabiting the root of a plant. Mycorrhizal. It can be ectomycorrhiza or it can be endomycorrhiza. That is the plant or root, either outside they can attack to them or that they can attach to them they can penetrate the roots of the plant also and then they can go in. Okay, other than that she told, what are that? Wasp and the fig. So what is the relation over here, mutualistic relation over here? They are plant pollinator relationship they have in. Got it? The fig requires the wasp for the pollination, whereas wasp lays the egg in the locules of the fig flower that it lays in, right? What is the fig flower inflorescence kind or the flower type? What do you call them? It's a special inflorescence in fig. What is that called as? Morphology lesson. Hypothandium. Got it? A special type. Inside only you will find male and the female flowers both, but their arrangement will be male flowers and the female flowers towards the bottom that you will find it. So as the wasp moves in, it will take the, obviously it will search for the place. When it is searching for the place, it will touch the male flower and then you will come to the female flower. Okay, fine. This is one. Next, for competition.
Goats and tortoises.
Okay, before competition we will study predation. Okay, so predation, even a cow eating a grass. Okay, and in predation, who are at the great loss, plants or animals? Plants, because plants cannot run away from their place. So they are at the great loss. So when they are there, even it may be a food, it's a food chain, but they are consuming onto it. So a tiger eating a cow or a deer, or a cow feeding onto the plants is all the examples of your predation. Other than that, predation, if you could see, if you talked, this is the other side of the predation concept. If you could see, it helps in energy transfer. Yes or no? Yes or no? Because when I say a cow eating a grass, food chain, producer, primary consumer. So automatically the next level. So it helps, a predation helps in the energy transfer. But a predation becomes one organism to be benefited and another one not to be benefited only when there is a over predation or over exploitation of the predator for the prey is happening in too much. Then you get a typical predation ka effect. Otherwise it will be like a food chain that they are maintaining within them. Okay. So in order to avoid their predation, prey will have certain mechanism. What are they? I don't want every time to be eaten up, right? My species should also be there. So what they can do? They can camouflage. That is one. And they have given an example of monarch butterfly. Usually they will do it. Anyway, in evolution also you would have studied this concept, right? Monarch butterfly. Other than that, plant produce a lot of substances, chemical substances, okay, which we will use it as our product. Resins, latex, alkaloid substances, and then nicotine, which we use it for medicinal purpose, or their products what the plant is producing in. All that are predation for the, their protection for the prey. All chemical substances that they produce. So obviously when a predator eats that, he will die. So he doesn't want that to consume it. So I am very much safe. And specifically they would have given Calaprophis. What is that Calaprophis flower called as? I don't know. What is it called as? You will use for Ganesha, no, right? That flowers. Okay. It will produce cardiac glycosides, which is an alkaloid. Usually alkaloids are not good. They are considered to be a toxic substances, but few of the alkaloids have medicinal value over there. So here, because of this cardiac glycosides, cow don't graze on them and this plant remains in. This is how a prey protects from the predator. Got it now? Other than that, any example? Animals can run, plant cannot run. That is one. Second thing is like thorns, spines. Okay, leaf to be very much rough. These are all the mechanism what the plant will follow in to protect themselves from the animals, from the prey, that they can protect it. Then next is your parasitism. Take down. Parasitism. Okay, fine. We will go in order. We will finish with competition. What do you mean by competition? Both the species will compete for a common resources. That you call them as your competition. Okay. Is it benefit or not? It may or may not be, depending on the type of interaction what they are having in. If they do resource partitioning, that means like you graze on this area, I will eat on this area. Okay, I think you would have studied about warblers. Okay, in evolution, a tree occupied by different types of warblers. They have modified or evolved their beak. Yes, few are insect eaters, few are fruit eaters, seed eaters, and that. They will occupy the same tree, but my food is different. I eat seed, you eat insects, you eat fruits. So there is no competition. But we species are the same. So that is your resource partitioning and then dividing among ourselves, and then they are able to live. So generally it is a concept like a superior species will try to eliminate the inferior species. This is true because I am superior. So there will be a loss of the inferior species. But there is one more concept called as your exclusive principle, Gauss exclusive principle, in which he says that if there is in a particular region, if you have a superior organism species also and a inferior species also, obviously superior will replace the inferior. Got it? If the inferior has only a small geographical area, I cannot move beyond that. My limitation is only to this area. Then if you remove that superior organism, then this inferior one can increase their distribution area also. This is called as your exclusive, Gauss exclusive principle. So these are the two concepts. One is resource partitioning or sharing. The other one is your exclusive principle that you should remember over here. Okay, these are the two things. Other than that, for competition, and other than that, it goes with the law of Darwin, which says that fittest of the survival. Who can take the resource, reproduce, survive in that environment, we will be able to do that. Got it now? Then comes your parasitism. Okay. What is parasitism? What is parasitism? Sure. I am going to feed on you. You are going to, I require a host. Without host, I cannot live. Either I adapt like a host so that I am completely dependent on him. Host is damaged, that is negative. For it is negative. But for the parasitism or the parasitic organism, it is positive. They may depend for food or for shelter also. Example, and you have ectoparasite and endoparasite also. If they are on the outside or they are going to go inside the body. In plants, you can say cuscata plants, and then you can say tick-on dogs, and then lice in the human lice, and then malarial parasite. Any parasitic organism when you take it, they undergo this. But exceptional one is even in case of birds, you find brood parasitism, where the quail lays the egg in the crow nest, and then they are able to get it hatched, incubated and hatched. Then comes your commensalism. What is commensalism? One is benefited, whereas other one is unaffected. Example you give? Huh? Example? Crownfish or clownfish? Clownfish with shark or sea anemone. Then next one more, shark with again small fish. Okay, where they get, one gets a protection because of the other. Okay, so wherever the shark goes, the small fish which is attached to it will go. One is shelter. Other thing is, if shark catches the fish, whatever it eats and throws in, it will become the food for the other one. Got it now? These are some of the examples that you can remember it. Next, you can even write the cattle and ergot. Right, or your wherever the cattle grazes, you find a crane or a ergot over there. The reason is cattle is not benefited, but whenever the cattle grazes, it disturbs the grass. So the insect will fly. They will start to wriggle. So immediately it can identify and it will get the food from there. Got it? One is the cattle is not affected by any way. This is one. Second thing is your last one is your amensalism. Example, amensalism, antibiosis, antibiotic concept. Got it now? So when you have penicillium fungi which produces a, what is that? Penicillin. It kills the bacteria, staphylococcus. Antibiotic. Got it? So here one is destroyed, bacteria. But is the penicillium getting any benefit over here? Nothing. That is a product that it is giving out. Got it now? So these are the different interactions. So in a population between species, they interact and they live in. Whereas in case of an individual, it is they adapt and then they live in. That's how they bring in the concept. This is your, or these are the concepts that are involved in your organism and population lesson. Shall we see some questions? Yes. Okay, the density of a, I will just read out the questions which is easy for you and then you can tell it. Okay, they have given a diagram over here. The diagram goes something like this. Population density okay, A and they have given B. This is the diagram that has been given. The density of a population in the given habitat during a given period fluctuates due to the change in the certain conditions. In a given habitat, in a given temperature, it is going to change. On that basis, fill what will be A and B in the flow chart. Options are A is natality, B is mortality. B, A again. Next option is you have natality and then you have mortality. This is one option. Second option is you have immigration and emigration. Then you have natality and immigration. The last one is both A and B. Both A and B. Okay, so please read the option and write. It can be anything, one plus and another minus. Take down now. Next one. Match the following. Column 1, take down. You have eurythermal. Column 1 is eurythermal. Then stenothermal, conformers and diapers. Okay, diapers. These are the 4 options that is been given in column 1. Column 2, I will not give the column 2, you can tell what it is. You will find out very easily. Okay, able to tolerate narrow range of temperature. Which one is that option? Stenothermal. A stage of suspended development. Body temperature changes with the ambient temperature. Able to tolerate wide range of temperature. Okay, you based on that A, B, C, D, you can write. Got it now? Okay, study the following statement and give the correct ones. Take down the option. The organism capable to tolerate a wide range of temperature are called as stenothermal organism. Correct or wrong?
No, ma'am.
They are unithermals. Example for unithermals? Examples for eurythermals. Mammals and birds. Mammals and birds. They can alter their body temperature. Okay. Next, average temperature in a tropical desert in summer is less than 50 degree. Average temperature in the tropical desert in summer is less than 50 degree. It is greater than 50 degree. Next, thermal springs cannot sustain life due to very high average temperature. That means in the thermal springs, the life cannot be sustained in due to a very high temperature, that is greater than 100 degrees Celsius, less than 100 degrees Celsius. It is also wrong. They can survive in hydrothermal vents or in a higher condition. Next, thermal tolerance of different species determines their geographical distribution to a larger extent. That is the right answer. Next, life is sustainable with water only because life is sustainable with water only because first option, it makes 90% of the protoplasm. Second one, translocation of nutrients inside the body occurs with the help of water. Third one is water loss in the form of sweating and transpiration helps to maintain body temperature. Last one, all of these. All of these. Define niche. Define niche. Actually, niche is that they have given. Niche, N-I-C-H-E, niche. Okay, I have converted it as define because I have to tell the option. Now you tell. What is niche? What is niche? N-I-C-H-E, niche. N-I-C-H. First time you are hearing? Then tell now. What is a niche? the place where an organism lives and interacts with the environment. That you call them as your niche. Niche, individual. Okay, I have a burrow, rat or a rabbit. I'm going to live in that, but I'm going to interact with the environment also because I get the food from their temperature, everything. So that is niche. Habitat is, it talks about your a group, not for individual plus interaction. Okay, take down 3 water bodies were tested for salinity of water. Okay, take down. Water body X shows salt concentration of 3 parts per thousand. Water body X shows salt concentration of 3 parts per thousand. Y shows 35 parts per thousand. Whereas Z shows 110 parts per thousand salinity. Now, they have given option. Find out what will be X, Y and Z. What type of water bodies? X water body is 3 parts per thousand. Y is 35. Z is 110. So what could be the water bodies? I have written and I have told you. Z is ocean or lagoons actually. Okay, then